afternoon. Thank you for being here. My name is Reverend Robert Brzezinski, and our theme this month is cultivating authenticity. And I was given the title, as we often are, of originally the title was, see, I've lost it already, Dropping the Masks. And I figured I could come in here with my Mardi Gras mask on and we could do a talk about letting go of all the inauthentic stuff in our lives and all the ways we've been taught to be something other than what we are in our lives. But we've all heard that talk before, haven't we? It's so easy when the topic is authenticity to talk about what authenticity isn't or what it looks like when we're not being authentic. Well, today we're going to take that in a whole different way. So we'll kick it off with a quote by our founder. Technology just keeps wanting to have its way with us today. There we go. Now we should be back. Thanks again, folks. See, I could get really upset right now with technology, right? We could just say, that's it. Mindset's a little different. Turn it all off. Let's just circle up and have a good conversation. And sorry, folks online, you're not part of it this week, but that's not really how we do it around here. Because there's always a way forward. There's always a way that it will work. We just got to keep working it. And we got to watch for the signs. We got to watch for the signals. We got to watch for the guy in the back that's going, hey, got it lost again, so we can fix it. That's being authentic. Brene Brown is one of our featured speakers, if you will, today, featured authors today. I've got a few quotes by her. And the first one says, authenticity is a daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Letting go of who we think we should be and embracing who we are. Now, when I look out on this room, and I can trust this happens online as well, I'm the only one in the room wearing a necktie. Right? Guys, men, for how long have we had to wear the trappings that we're told we're supposed to? Last week, Reverend Elzia was up here without a tie. The week before that, Reverend Mark Gilbert was here without a tie. So I took off the tie. We need to be, I believe, courageous in how we show up. And I'll make sure I repeat my quotes because they won't be on that screen today. So authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we thought we were supposed to be or who we've been convinced we were supposed to be in order to embrace who we are. And we come to know who we are based on the quality of our questions. The quality of our life is directly proportional to the quality of our questions. So as I continue today, I invite you to listen for the questions and start to figure for yourself a little bit, think for yourself a little bit, what are the questions I'm not asking? What are the questions I'm not asking of myself? Because that are the answers that are hiding your authenticity. Last week, Reverend Elzia asked us the question, do you know who you really are? And then he refrained later in his conversation that question is kind of a setup. It's kind of a cop-out. Because the nature of who you are, you already know that. There's never a question in who you are inside of you. Now, sometimes we play the game to let other people think that that's who we are, or we can try to pretend that that's not who, but deep inside, every one of you knows exactly who you are. And you know exactly why you have come to this planet at this time in this bodysuit, what that mission and what your purpose is, and all those big, huge questions, the meaning of life. It's all inside you. I've long taught that in this philosophy, the science of mind, it's not very difficult. We make it a little harder than it needs to be sometimes. But once you know the truth of who you are, you cannot deny that. You can pretend, you can try to stick your head in the sand and pretend that this stuff doesn't work. But once you understand this philosophy and the practices and the principles that go along with it, there's no denying you are a divine creator. You are a divine center of the God figure that we call whatever you want to call it. Now, some people call this power that we play with, that we live in, that we're expressing. Some people call it God. Others call it Buddha or Brahma or Yahweh or Vishnu or Kuan Yin or source energy. It doesn't matter what name you give it. It doesn't matter what icon you assign to it. The oneness has to have a creative outlet, and it has to create through us, through every one of us. But Elzia also asked us, do we have the courage? Are we courageous enough to be who we truly are? Not just to know that in the moments of meditation, not just to know that in the quiet moments of a Sunday afternoon, not just to recognize that truth maybe when you get the perfect swing on a golf course or the perfect turn on a mountain, but to actually be that out in the world. Brene Brown describes courage, and we shared this quote last week as well. Courage is a heart word. The root of the word courage is C-O-R, core, the Latin word for heart. In one of its earliest forms, the word courage meant to speak one's mind, telling all one's heart. Now, that's not saying telling all of my heart. It's saying tell all of you what is in my heart, what my heart calls me to. Imagine a world, if you would, where everyone feels confident and comfortable enough to wander around and share with everybody they meet their heart, where they are courageous enough to share who they really are, not what we've bought, not the trappings of the clothes that we've put on. At every point, every part of our lives is calling us to be more courageous, to be more of who we came here to be. Not to worry about what others think or how others perceive us, but to be in that place of absolute courage. And what the payoff is when that is your nature, when that is your entire life's calling, to be who you came here to be, then those around you Suddenly drop all the judgments. Suddenly you can do and be and have anything you desire because you're being who you came here to be. Renee continues, because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic and personal selves to the world, our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. So how many people, you don't have to raise your hands to this one, woke up this morning and put on something that was comfortable and came to church? How many people put on something that they thought looks good and I like it and I enjoy it and I don't care what anybody says, I'm going to wear that to church today? And how many of us put on a tie and a jacket and everything else because we were convinced we have to fit the mold? Striking a theme now, right? Hitting those same points again and again and again. See, we need to be able not only to embrace that we are courageous, but I invite you to consider living a life as if you already belong. Far too many people live their lives trying to find their place to fit in. I encourage you to be who you are and trust that the universe is going to bring the people to you that align with who you are. To be who you came here to be. What if everyone lived from a place of knowing that you absolutely belong? You are always in the right place, and you are always in the right place at the right time. No question about it. You belong right where you are. Let that sink in. Now, by the laws of the universe, oh, this text's going to work, right? By the laws of the universe, if you belong, then that's true of everybody. Even sometimes when we go where people don't think we should, or where we go in places where we don't think we can, not only do miracles happen, but they happen in the stillness of our own hearts. It doesn't need to be public. You know, this is not the first time I've stood in front of this audience. It's not the first time I've pulled this bit. It was going to be the first time it ended up on video. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, it is. All right. Maybe there is something. Maybe there's going to be. Diego, you're going to have to patch it all together. But our producer at home, Diego, does a great job of not only keeping us in track and on time, but also smoothing over the rough spots for the after broadcast. So you might see a better version of this. E.E. Cummings said, the greatest battle we face as human beings is the battle to protect our true selves from the self the world wants us to be. Absolutely. The greatest battle we face as human beings is the battle to protect our true selves from the self the world wants us to be. I don't want you to be anything other than who you came here to be. I don't want you to put on a mask. I don't want you to put on a jacket just because the world says so. I want you to be you, because here's the thing, folks. As we learned last week, everybody else is already taken. The gifts that you bring to this thing called life are unique to you. No one sees through your eyes. No one feels through the heart the way you do. No one experiences life the way you do. Nobody's seen the concerts that you have. Nobody's played the sports that you have. Nobody's had the kids that maybe you have had. We all bring a unique set of gifts and skills and talents to this thing called life. And therefore, what I know is you are absolutely vital to humanity's evolution. Who you are, what you do, how you see the world, how you show up is absolutely vital to humanity's evolution, to this journey of enlightenment that we are all upon. So at the end of the day, if we ask, what are my guiding principles? I'd like to share mine with you for a brief moment. A while back, in a spiritual practice known as visioning, and for those unfamiliar with visioning, it's a very deep meditative practice where we make inquiries to the divine and we listen for the responses. And we listen to those responses over time. We listen to those responses. We ask the same question again and again and again and again and again. I do this every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, Facebook and YouTube. You can join us. We ask the same questions every week. And sometimes the answers to those questions are different, but most often the answer to the question finds its way and boils itself down to a pure essence. A few years back, I added a question to the process and I started asking the divine, what is my soul's purpose? Remember, the quality of your life is directly proportional to the quality of your questions. If you, with an open heart and a listening mind, come and ask the divine, what is my soul's purpose? I guarantee you will get the answer. And what's come through for me after hundreds of experiences now is to love and be loved. To love and be loved. And if you stick be and loved real close together, you know what you get? Beloved. To love and be beloved. Be the beloved. Add your love to everything. So again, we have a two-part talk this week. And Reverend Mark set us up a couple of weeks ago by sharing a song. Little did I know that would become part of a new theme here at CSL Denver. Because last week, Elzia went and sang a song too. And I joked with him after the service. I was like, you know, you just set them up because now they got to listen to me sing. But then I thought, wait a minute. No, we can do this together. So I'd like to share a couple of quick quotes as I close from a group of mystics, modern day mystics. Many of us know them as the Beatles. And they have a song about love. I would imagine most people in the room know it. But if you listen to the words before it, there's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Now help me. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be in time. It's easy. Because all you need is love. There's nothing you can know that isn't known, nothing you can see that isn't shown. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. And all we need is love. And so if you're here with us in person today, this is exactly where you need to be. If you're with us online, praise, hallelujah. This is exactly where you need to be. And if you're watching this at another time and you were out on the golf course this morning or at a lake or at your summer cabin, maybe a little early for summer cabins, but if you were anywhere other than with us here this morning, that is exactly where you were meant to be. Because I believe you bring the love. You bring the love. So I invite you, if you feel any sort of love, any sense of love within you, to join me in a prayer here today. Join me in a recognition that there is only one source, one supply, one never-ending wellspring of love and light and beauty, truth and health and wealth and well-being, abundance, prosperity, happiness. It's all God. Everywhere my eyes land, everywhere my mind wanders, I find the divine. I find the one. I find God. Rising up in mysterious and confusing and wondrous and awe-inspiring ways. Lifting up each and every one across this planet so that we each may recognize we have this within us, the ability, the opportunity to be who we truly came here to be. I claim for each one that may hear these words, each one that may be touched by the vibration, the collective vibration that is being created here today, that we raise this up, and everyone that touched by this vibration may come to know that they too are the divine, that they are right where they're supposed to be, that everything is happening exactly as it must to bring forth everything that is necessary for the fulfillment of your mission here on this planet, for your soul's purpose, everything. All the right people, all the right connections, all the right money, all the right opportunities, the right cars, the right jobs, the right partners, the right love, all the right stuff. Everything necessary for the fulfillment of your life's mission comes into your life exactly as it is necessary. And so I invite each one to rest in that deep truth and that deep knowing that it is all God. And so it is all good. And I release this word with a grateful heart, with a deep sense of gratitude, knowing this is already the truth in the mind of the one. I release this word into that law of good, that universal law that must manifest, that must demonstrate. I release this word into that universal law that cannot return this prayer void, that cannot return this unfulfilled. And in fact is already taking action upon this prayer, already bringing this into form. That is the truth I know. So I know it is not I doing the work, it is the divine doing the work. And so I get myself out of the way. I get the bloating nothingness, my bloated nothingness out of the divine. Be divine. And if any of this has resonated in any way, I invite you to join us in an affirmation of truth as we
There is a certain preparation necessary for this, just as we cultivate the soil before we plant seeds in the ground, so we must cultivate our own consciousness. We must cultivate an inward awareness, filling our minds with a feeling of a great presence and the authority of a great law of good. Sometimes this means sitting quietly for a few moments, just sensing the presence, feeling it and believing it, and keeping the mind open to its influx, to a sense of peace and inward awareness. Then we must realize that our word, being the presence, the power, and the activity of the living Spirit, shall not return unto us void. It actually will be done unto us as we believe, as we affirm, and as we accept.